Breloom, the meme Pokemon of the week for reasons. But why don't we take this opportunity to look back at the funny mushroom dinosaur kangaroo? What even is this thing supposed to be? Well, the Pokédex classifies it as a mushroom Pokemon, same as a pre-evolution Shroomish. Both introduced in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, they were pretty cool. When you first go through the Petalburg Woods, you run into a Devon assistant who wants to see a Shroomish for himself, and that starts you off on your journey to confronting Team Aqua and or Team Magma and eventually saving the world. So in a way, Shroomish is the one to thank for everything. In a recent playthrough of Pokemon Emerald version where I decided to use only green Pokemon, I ended up catching a Shroomish that chat decided to name Mossy, and she was one of the most valuable Pokemon on the team when she eventually evolved into Breloom. Breloom actually has a really cool type combination, being grass and fighting. There are some other fighting Pokemon that you can pick up along the way, but I love that Breloom gets access to Mach Punch and Sky Uppercut, which are really fun to use. It's one of those Pokemon that makes for a great little investment. Basically ever since the introduction, this has been one solid Pokemon boasting a high attack stat and later on even some great choices for abilities, like Poison Heal and Technician. Just all around it makes a really good Pokemon, though I still really can't decide what it's supposed to be. I mean, when you look at all the other mushroom Pokemon, most of them are just literally that, mushrooms, like Shiinotic and Amoonguss. Toedscruel has a lot more legs than usual and is meant to resemble a walking Tentacruel, but they still have the overall mushroom shape. Parasect is meant to be a weird bug being controlled by the mushroom on its back, but Breloom has the physiology of basically a dinosaur. That is what most people see on first impression. There are still mushroom features like the cap and overall grassy feeling, and I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. Really, this design is honestly the perfect amalgamation of basically everything. It's one of those things that could only work in a video game and anime with the world of Pokemon. Oh yeah, also it has some funny stretchy arms that it uses to punch as if it hadn't already made this Pokemon amazing enough. If I'm being honest, the grass-type dinosaur thing is pretty fun whenever we see it, and I would love for there to be even more. There's something about it that really works. Funny thing is that now that I think about it, Shroomish also looks a little like an egg. I mean, in the sense if you put these Pokemon next to Yoshi, then maybe you could see the vision. You know, I have this one weird memory of Shroomish that is wholly unique to me. Once, while I was at the bowling alley for some gathering, I was able to peek into the bar area and they were playing Channel 5 on the TV, at which point Pokemon had come on, but nobody bothered to change it, and I noticed that it was airing an episode with a bunch of Shroomish. But since I was a kid and wasn't allowed to enter the bar, I was kindly asked to leave and go back to the party that I was with. Though speaking of the anime, episode 2 of the Advanced series has our heroes making their way through Fortree City, when Team Rocket gets into a tussle over some apples with a group of wild Shroomish. Some of them just evolve right on the spot into Breloom and attack them. They catch up with the protagonist and an even bigger tussle occurs, which results in a classic everybody is separated from each other in the forest kind of episode. It is a pretty fun one and is a neat way of introducing the Breloom, because it shows just how much of a force to be reckoned with that they actually are. This is also the episode where Maze Torchic actually evolves into Combuskin. It had been fighting with Ash's Corphish at the very beginning, but then steps in to defend it from the angry Breloom, at which point it evolves. So this also happens to be a very important episode for the entirety of the series. There's a cool final battle between the two fighting type Pokemon, one Combuskin versus the leader of the Breloom. Such a neat idea to show off the new evolution. Anyway, after the battle, they settle everything and Team Rocket is actually singled out as the true problem, like they usually are. But yeah, it's a really fun episode. Though aside from a cool design, a neat appearance in the anime, and some great success in battling, I don't think there's too much else for Breloom. That's already a great accomplishment, and no doubt there are lots of people who are fans of this Pokemon, but it does kind of miss out on having something like insanely interesting lore. The Pokédex entries are fine, talking about how it's able to use poison spores or something about how fast it's able to punch, but in my opinion nothing really jumps out in the way that some other Pokemon do. But that isn't always necessary. Sometimes you just need to play by the rule of cool, and that's exactly what Breloom does. Again, I think making it so different from what you would expect a mushroom Pokemon to look like works to its advantage. And when you think about it, a punching mushroom dinosaur isn't all that far-fetched when it comes to Pokemon. So let me know what you think about them in the comments below and if you have any cool memories. Like I said, I've used this Pokemon several times in the Generation 3 games, because it really is just that helpful of a Pokemon to pick up. But my most recent livestream of Pokemon Emerald has got to be what solidified my feelings. Anyway, I should get back to exploring the Petalburg Woods for even more gems of Pokemon. Thank you to every channel member, including the Great Gators, Alex Switch Shiny Hunts, Psychic Jalen, Brian794, Dusty Gogo, Taxco6942, Astor L for Ahito, Timeless Moron, Fancy Orange, Siakir MA, Sora Baker, Dejorant, Matthew Kelly, Mobile Empire, Ezra, Forfey Ion, Mugshot Cat, Tyler Hopper, Lockadox, Koi13, Cemetery Hill, Cosmo Zero, Rainfrux, Cheez-It62, Gator Kid 509, TF, Mathaclog947, Taijirai, Justin R, Phantom, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, sometimes early videos, and a members only podcast every month, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well for more memes. Anyway, this is GatorX, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.
Get ready for the Pokemon 4x4 Challenge.
What is that?
It's the formula for the ultimate battle. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon versus 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon.
Oh, yeah!
Take the 4x4 Challenge only on Pokemon Advanced Challenge. 2 episodes next Saturday beginning at 8, 7 Central and Pacific on Kids WB.